2018 Toyota C-HR car review. Although Scion was snuffed out this past year, the spirit on the entry-level brand endures in Toyota models much like the new C-HR subcompact SUV crossover. Although the C-HR was originally going to wear a Scion badge within the States, that it was a relatively painless process for Toyota to pivot and convey the funky crossover in like a Toyota. The C-HR was always slated to be sold being a Toyota in overseas markets, with vehicles such as Nissan Juke, the Kia Soul, as well as the similarly sized Honda HR-V maintaining steady sales, that it was critical that Toyota field a subcompact crossover inside the United States. The good points of 2018 Toyota C-HR: surprisingly spacious and quiet interior, well-damped chassis. The bad points of 2018 Toyota C-HR: no Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, or navigation. CVT is usually a bummer. Slower laptop or computer should be. Millennial magic. Like most organizations using a product to trade these days, Toyota wasted no possibility to reference the M word, peppering its pre-test drive spiel wonderful things millennial. After a day within the saddle near Texas Hill Country near Austin, the world thinks Toyota should relax the pitch somewhat and have a slightly more organic approach. In preserving its Scion roots, the C-HR's trim hierarchy is straightforward, with the XLE $23,460 as being the base model and also the XLE Premium $25,310 as, the bed's base model, which has a few tech and appointment upgrades. Standard equipment includes cloth-trimmed front bucket seats with 6-way adjustability, a leather-wrapped controls, Bluetooth, one USB port, an auto-dimming rear-view mirror with backup camera, and dual-zone automatic climate control. The XLE Premium gets heated front seats, an 8-way driver's seat, blind spot monitoring, rear cross-traffic alert, and proximity entry and commence. Those spunky two-tone models using the white roof and side mirrors, those are Recode C-HRs, a therapy that will be the sole available factory option within your choice of 3 colors, Blue Eclipse Metallic, Ruby Flare Pearl, plus their code-exclusive Radiant Green Mica. Simple, right? Here's where it gets funky. Due largely to its development in the Scion banner, which brands weirdo radio head unit, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and navigation, hardly any Scion's been able to factory navigation aren't available within the C-HR. For a small, affordable, and stylish car marketed directly at millennials, these look like egregious omissions. That said, the Bluetooth works fine, and utilizing your phone in a very mount is often a perfectly workable navigation solution. Also strange, the 8-way driver's seat is entirely manual operational except for power-operated lumbar support, which can be akin to fitting an antique mechanical watch with battery-powered dial illumination. The interior quality suffices for any sub-$25K vehicle without feeling cutrate or Spartan. There are hard, embossed plastic door panels, nonetheless they feel and look around the task. While there appears to be no glove box, the reduced dash conceals a smallish latch that opens an enormous storage bin. The door openings both back and front are deceptively large, so we found enough adjustment towards the front seats plus the tilting and telescoping tire for a set of 2 6-foot-plus journalists to acquire comfortable, save for the little biller intrusion within the wider and the 2. The back seat is usually relatively spacious for such a small footprint. The 103.9-inch wheelbase is 4.3 inches over the Juke's, even though the width increased only 1.2 inches for the Nissan, depending on how leading seats are set. But when those seats were positioned where we had been comfortable, foot and legroom inside the rear were reduced to prison restraint levels. Still, Based largely on elbow and knee room, our first impressions are the C-HR's front compartment can be a tad more spacious and comfy than those on the HR-V along with the Juke. You gotta spin to win. Despite its high-hipped and quirky four-row Toyota transformer meets sturdy hamster gymnast exterior design, the C-HR's dynamic personality is pure Toyota. The naturally aspirated 2.0-liter inline-4 making 144 horsepower at 6,100 revolutions per minute and 139 lb-ft of torque at 3,900 revolutions per minute is surely an engine which should be overtly stressed if you would like have any fun. Of course, a continuously variable automatic CVT, the only transmission available inside the C-HR, has few qualms about keeping the engine in the high end in the tachometer, particularly if sport mode is selected. The CVT, however, can easily be caught napping when exiting corners, going for a second or maybe more to respond and leaving the trucker with an embarrassing case of torque's interruptus. A quick tug with the shift lever allows the driving force to hang on to your 7 simulated fixed ratio steps more than necessary for sane operation. The C-HR will not be mistaken to get a land rocket. Long, uphill sections could be torturous, of course, if you're entering the C-HR from definitely not an economy car and other subcompact crossover. It will require some time to have used to your horsepower rationing. We're convinced a slick manual would do wonders to further improve the situation. Kudos are warranted to the chassis tuning. Reportedly refined about the Nürburgring, so were our blender and shocks, probably. The C-HR runs a strut front and multi-link rear suspension with sax dampers whatsoever 4 corners. Impacts throughout the standard 18-inch wheels are nicely cushioned. Plus the setup is tuned to ensure body control doesn't loosen over broken pavement or go flabby in cornering, nor will the automobile attempt to take flight when cresting hills at speed. The electrically assisted steering will be the weak link, offering little feel or feedback regardless if firmed up in sport mode. Warning signs of pending turmoil are signaled by tire squeal before the tire weighs in about the subject. The brakes offer smooth, linear response, but any data regarding their strength should wait until we are able to strap our test gear towards the C-HR. Unlike the Juke along with the HR-V plus the majority of other subcompact crossovers, the C-HR wasn't conceived effortlessly wheel drive in your mind. While this is not just a deterrent to us, you find consumers who feel the doctor has to have all-wheel drive. To them we say invest inside a good number of winter tires, ever since the C-HR isn't prepared for a lot more than off-road excursions towards the overflow lot at Coachella, anyway, because of the Toyota's 5.9 inches of ground clearance and standard all-season tires. Toyota has big plans with the C-HR, with hopes to offer 30,000 units towards the end of 2017 and double that in 2018. Those looking for just a funky alternative on the usual suspects, and not defer by the insufficient Apple CarPlay, all-wheel drive, or factory navigation, will get the C-HR at Toyota showrooms in April.